Hey everyone, Effie here. I'm back with another video featuring our Anemone Wishes cluster stamp set. Now this set is a 4x6 set and it features a large clustered images of these really gorgeous anemones and large leaves. It also has these solid leaves incorporated right in the cluster stamp. So this is a really great set if you want to practice some coloring or watercoloring because it has all those images kind of integrated into each other. So there's no masking involved. All you need to do is just stamp and go. So for my card, I started off by heat embossing my Anemone Wishes cluster stamp onto some watercolor paper. My watercolor paper is an A2 size panel, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then after I stamped it in our Versamark ink, I just spooned some rose gold embossing powder, and now I'm just watercoloring the anemones using my Orchid color burst, which is, it looks a little more purple, but once you dilute it with a little bit of water, you get that orchid hue. So I'm just going to watercolor the rest of the anemones in this color burst. The leaves will be watercolored using sap green and Terre Vert color burst. And then I'm just going to turn on some music while I finish watercoloring, and I'll be back in a bit. Once I finish watercoloring, I'm going to set that panel aside to dry, and once it's completely dried, I'm just going to die cut the Anemone Wishes watercolored image using the coordinating die. And I'm going to save the negative space because I'm going to use this for my card. I took a spray bottle that had clean water in it and I just spritzed down my panel, and after that I applied some Turquoise color burst watercolor powders to the edges of that die cut window because I want that turquoise glow coming from within that window. So after I was satisfied with the amount of paint on my negative panel, I just dried everything with my heat tool, and then I splattered some clean water onto that watercolor portion, and then I dabbed some color up with a paper towel, and it's going to give you a little bit of texture. I also added some violet splatters to give it a little bit more interest. Once I was satisfied with the amount of texture on my panel, I set that aside to dry. Once it was fully dried, I added some double-sided adhesive strips behind my panel, and I'm just using our double-sided adhesive sheets, which I cut into strips. And this is really strong adhesive, and it's great for holding that heavyweight watercolor paper onto a card base. Next, I'm going to stamp the sentiment from the same Anemone Wishes set in our Noir Dye Ink onto my watercolor panel. Once the sentiment was complete, I just popped up the cluster image right into that negative space with some dimensional foam tape. Then lastly, I'm just going to add some dewdrops in our 7 and 5 millimeter sizes all over my card to add a little bit of interest. The card is now complete. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys liked watching me watercolor. This was a really fun card to pull together because coloring is just so therapeutic, and this was one of the first cards that I had made in a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.